Hey everyone, welcome back to DC-Cember as we continue on the top 10 villains from Batman Beyond. As we start with our number 8, Shriek.
You don't have to do this, Shriek.
But I do. And the name Shriek now.
He's a cool one. I like his design.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the better villain original designs for the show. And I always loved that it was kind of like, I think we talked about this with some of the other shows, is every rogues gallery has sort of like a missing, or they have like the electricity guy and the fire guy and the water guy and the whatever, and there's not usually a sound guy.
Yeah, it's interesting how like with Batman Beyond they bring in villains that have some more elemental abilities than just like simple crooks, like with gadgets or something.
I agree.
For Shriek, he's definitely a long list of villains that bear some similarities to Spider-Man villains, obviously with the Shocker, but they did more than just, creating vibrational explosions. He can like do all kinds of crazy stuff with sounds, whereas to modify like our speech patterns, even like to pick out certain sounds and mute others.
Like echolocation?
Like
much.
Morbius, it's Morbin time. Yeah.
Oh god.
I think it's the first Shriek episode where he turns off all the sound and is fighting Batman in the factory. That's a really good scene. Just having absolutely no sound at all, and then Batman turns on all the sound and deafens Shriek or whatever. And I think I like that about his second appearance, is that he's like technically deaf and he has to use his own technology to hear anything and figure it out. But he doesn't have much of an arc in the show, which I think is probably why he's like, even though he is really cool looking and he stands out as a memorable, if you had to list a top 10 Batman Beyond villains, he'd always be there. But he didn't get to do a lot. I wish that he had gotten a little bit more. He does show up in epilogue in the flash forward, or like whatever you want to call it, the what if scenario where we see them fighting the Iniquity Collective. But yeah, I've always wished that we saw more of him. I'm sure there's a couple of good Batman Beyond tie-in comic issues with him. Yeah. But yeah.
He's in a few.
I guess for Shriek is definitely one of the villains that, despite his powers, he's just a would-be assassin, but then became like another villain that has a vendetta against Batman. I guess he has a cooler code name than his actual name.
There does seem to be a tendency to just name them after the thing after they've already come up with the villain name. But I think similarly to that, in this guy Shriek is a lot like Luminous in level of notoriety among the Rogues Gallery. I think like cool character, cool design, only shows up a couple of times, doesn't really leave much of a mark, but he's memorable. He's been there.
One thing what's great about Shriek is that, like, for his last appearance, he got sucker punched by Bruce, and that was a long time coming for him.
But in his last appearance, he got defeated by the GLU.
He got sucker punched by Terry, and half his mask blew off.
Now for number 7, Robert Vance.
The computer guy?
It's a loose fit, but I'm sure I'll grow into it.
He's voiced by the same guy that voices Phantasm in Mask of the Phantasm, so that's always been fun. And like they kept him around for spooky Ghost Man character. And I mean he's a very cool spooky concept. He's one of like the final kind of the turning point of Batman Beyond, from a very dark, sinister, creepy show into a more like, this gotta be brighter and more kid-friendly, please. So whenever I get to this episode and I watch through, I'm like, oh, well, it's not gonna get bad, but it's gonna get different now. So yeah.
I love that episode. There's something so fun about seeing like the bat suit come to
Just
life,
walking
and
around,
and be the villain, and then like having to see Terry react to that without the bat suit and grab like the Nightwing mask and old utility belt. I always thought it was cool that he wore.
It's like Iron Man and Spider-Man say, like, you need the suit to be the guy, then you don't deserve to be the guy.
True.
It's exactly what he said.
It's not Batman that makes you worthwhile. It's the other way around.
Yeah, but that is a great one, because like very few villains would ever have the chance to actually, I guess, in a way, be the hero, at least through suit-wise. And I guess I like to call, one of like the true mantles of Terry to like, be a successor, because if he can't like handle the suit, then what chance do you have for the rest of Gotham when he's older and stuff?
you can't handle the suit, get out of the oven. That's what they say.
That's what they say, yeah. Potato, potato. Yeah. I do really like the scene of them walking him into the ocean, like he's just gonna drown him. There's one like aspect of the episode that I always wish was a thing, was Vance using the suit to kind of like fly around and terrorize people and just like make Batman look like a terrible person. And Terry's having to be like, I promise, Batman's fine. Why should we listen to you, random guy? Are you Batman or something? But there's probably not time for that, and he had other things he needed to do. But yeah.
Though that's quite unique that he has all this power, yet all he wants is just to be a regular person again. Although that is actually quite creepy, how he's pretty much like trying to kill his grandson and just put his. It's hard to say what to call it. I guess like his binary code, I guess. Or,
yeah.
Or whatever is left of him in
his silicon soul.
Yeah, he's one of many examples in the DCAU of brain transference, and in all separate occasions, all different technology, different companies, different people. But it's a common theme in the DCAU, and I'm probably just in sci-fi stories in general of, I'm gonna put my brain in you, okay? No, not okay. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway, and then chaos ensues. So,
Ultra Humanite, Ra's al Ghul,
Metallo.
The list goes on, but yeah.
The cool thing about Robert Vance that we haven't mentioned yet is he's got a son who was in Justice League Unlimited. Bobby Vance was the guy who betrayed the Justice League to Task Force X, and basically
Ted. Bobby Vance is the grandson.
Well, this guy was just called Vance.
Name, yeah. At first,
he was credited as just Vance. Yeah, you're right.
I wasn't sure if that was the same guy, but now that you mentioned,
he looks a lot like the grandson visually.
Gotcha.
Well, because I think we learn that the video that we see of Robert Vance in his human body, he's like a super old dude giving a speech and stuff. I'm pretty sure they say that's like 35 years ago or something. So the guy in JLU would likely be his son, and then Bobby would be that guy's son, theoretically.
Robert Vance may have been one of the few one-shot villains, but definitely made a unique impact with controlling the bat suit, having Terry to utilize retro gadgets to fight him, and his own wits, and that helped him make a better Batman for the rest of the series.
Let's let my grandfather rest in peace, shall we?
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, as tomorrow we'll continue with our list for the week. Also, be on the lookout for the upcoming Multiverse fundraiser on January 20th to the 22nd of next year. And click on the link to check the newest series, Anonymous, at their website and see its first 2 episodes for free. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content, as more will come on DC-Cember.